Good evening. My name is Kadaria Ahmed, and this is Straight Talk. My guest tonight trained as an agricultural economist and spent the early part of his career as a university lecturer. He subsequently moved into the private sector as a banker, first with the Commercial Bank for Africa, then with the International Bank and Zenith Bank. His life in public service followed with his first appointment as the Commissioner of Finance and Economic Development for his state. He also served in the same capacity as Commissioner in the Ministries of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Agriculture, Education, and Health. His current job is probably one of the most difficult in Nigeria today, because for the last 3 years, his state has faced escalating, relentless, and sustained attacks by the terrorist Boko Haram group. I am honored to have on Straight Talk today His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Honorable Kashim Shettima. Sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, we understand that a video released by Boko Haram has turned out to be of some of the girls that were abducted, because parents have identified at least 50-something number of girls that were in that video. How confident are you that all of the girls will be rescued and will be rescued hale and hearty in light of this recent development?
Thank you so much for inviting me to this program. I am by nature an eternal optimist. With international involvement, I believe that our own security agencies will join forces with their counterparts from America, from Britain, France, Israel, and China to see that these kids are rescued safely. There are countries that have tons of experience, years of battling insurgency, whose wealth of experience will come in handy in attending to our needs. So the involvement of the foreign powers is about the best development since the unfortunate commencement of the activities of the Boko Haram.
Now, to what extent are you and the Borno State government, and also maybe the other two states that are predominantly affected by this, that is Yobe and Adamawa, to what extent are you part of the talks that have started with the people that have come in to help? Because we understand already, and they are already working with our security services.
Honestly speaking, on behalf of the Borno State government, we know very little about what is going on. For now, we are not part of the conversation, to be quite honest with you, but I believe in the fullness of time, they will involve the state governments of Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa in the whole process.
Do you believe you have information that would be helpful to them?
Certainly. We are their most veritable source of information, because we are the leaders on ground. The military commanders are not the leaders of the localities. We have a very robust platform of getting information, which we pass on to the military authorities for proper utilization.
Now, you talked about having a robust system of information which you get and you pass on. Part of the accusations that have been put against you in particular and the Borno State government is that you knew well ahead of time that the girls at the Chibok secondary school were likely to come under attack, and you didn't do anything about it. How correct is this information?
Kabiru Yusuf said, prejudice is a great time saver. It enables you to form your opinion. Sorry, WBC commentary said, prejudice is a great time saver. It enables you to form your opinion without getting the facts. And with regards to Kabiru Yusuf, I think what he said, if I could remember, was that the trouble with deliberate bias is that it cannot be erased by sound education. So when people have made up their minds on certain things, if they have certain mindset of us versus them, of a persecution complex, they can cook up a lot of stories.
So you're saying it's just not true?
It's outrightly preposterous. It's a lie. But sometimes when lies are left unattended to, they tend to assume a life of their own. There is no any greater partner in the restoration of peace in Borno, greater than the Borno state government. There is no any beneficiary, major beneficiary of the dividends of peace in Borno more than the Borno state government.
What was the rationale that was taken to determine where exams would hold and where exams would not hold?
Before the commencement of the WAEC examinations, we had a parley, my deputy governor had a parley with the WAEC officials, whereby we agreed collectively to pick certain safer zones, relatively safer zones for the conduct of the examinations. Maiduguri is relatively safe. So all the schools from Northern Borno, from the 10 local governments of Northern Borno, in spite of agitations from the communities, especially from Monguno for the examination to be held there, we insisted that they should be brought down to Maiduguri. From Bama, from Konduga, they were all brought down to Maiduguri. Then schools from Goda, Bile, Ashigeshia, Izge, where they all congregated at Lhasa state. It's not the whole of Borno that is engulfed in these Boko Haram insurgency activities. There are communities that are relatively safe compared to others. The nerve center of the uprising has to really encompasses local governments like Goda, like Bama, Damboa, Kaga, and to a lesser extent, Konduga. Not even a lesser extent, Konduga. Because these are local governments surrounding the Sambisa game reserve. So we make conscious effort to see that schools in those localities, students that are to sit for the final year examination, in schools in those localities are brought to safer climes in our context, in our threat analysis. So this is why Chibok is a relatively safer zone.
So until this incident, Chibok was considered safer than other places?
Than other places.
WAEC officials were quite clear in their allegations. What they're saying is that they told you that it wasn't safe, and you told them you could guarantee the safety of the girls, including the girls in Chibok.
Let me tell you quite frankly, they were intimidated into making such statements. We have, the truth of the matter, Kadaria, has to do with the fact that we lost over 200 girls. And as a leader, I do not need to overheat the politics, because truth shall ultimately triumph over falsehood. We have correspondences with WAEC, where they even sought for logistic support from us, which we oblige them. If the schools are not safe by their own estimation, how could we stampede them into holding examinations in those localities? Look, let me tell you, in several instances, we have had information of impending attacks from communities. In GGSS Konduga, the students were evacuated on the day Konduga came under attack. When it comes to Mapa, the government Arabic Girls Teachers College was closed down 2 days before the attack on Mapa. They were all moved to Maiduguri. But like with all this Amnesty International report and so on, I'm a major stakeholder in the system. I don't suppose to rock the boat. But for anybody to claim that they have not heard of the impending attack. But honestly, I don't want to join issues with anybody. And discretion is a better part of valor. Sometimes, as painful as it is, silence is golden.
Now, let's talk about the issue of education. Now, even before the Boko Haram insurgency started, the northeast region, which Borno State is situated in, this was sort of one of the most poorly educated regions in Nigeria. This insurgency cannot have had a positive impact on education. What are you doing to ensure that the gap that already exists between your state and other states in Nigeria doesn't get even larger and wider?
Posterity will judge us harshly if we allow the educational system to crumble in our part of the world. With this mindset,
what can you do with insurgency taking place?
With insurgency, for one, education is free and compulsory in Borno.
To what level?
Up to secondary school level. We have spent over 10-15 billion naira renovating our existing infrastructure in our schools, classrooms, hostels.
But they keep getting burnt. So is it that they get burnt and then you build them again, or how does it work?
They burn quite a number of them, but a people determined will find a way to succeed in whatever way. Do you fold our arms and say, look, these raving lunatics are burning the school, so we shouldn't do anything? They are a minority within our community, and the moment we give into their antics, we are finished as a people. So in spite of whatever challenges, we have to trust on, build, invest, do whatever it takes. Sometimes we are resorting to some ingenious ways of making it very difficult for them to burn the schools. We have started doing POP in the classrooms. It's very difficult to burn POP. We have started using Gerard roofing sheets in our schools, all in an effort to make it very difficult to burn down the schools. Then we are investing in Kayan technology. We spent over 300 million naira. Kayan is a technology that uses 3D technology to teach in our schools. We have sent about 50 teachers to India for training on Kayan technology. We have bought all the necessary equipment, the projectors, generating sets, and everything. We are going to pay parents money to send their wards to school. If it means we'll give a mother, because our target market is actually the mothers, because they bear the brunt of all the problems in our society.
Mr. Governor, given how serious the issue of insecurity in Borno is, there are people listening to you that will say, well, you're sounding a little bit delusional. You're trying to move on as if life is normal and not waiting for the issue of insecurity to be addressed, and maybe in the process even putting people's children in danger.
We cannot just fold our arms and wait for eternity for peace to come before we move on. In spite of all the challenges, life has to move on. Do you want us to produce a generation of illiterates that will be more vulnerable to the antics of the Boko Haram? That's the million-dollar question. We have to trust on, in spite of whatever challenges that we are facing.
Now, Alhaji Aliko Dangote recently, alongside other rich people in the world, announced something called the Safe School Program. Are you part of that Safe School Program? What can you tell us about it?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, I read about it in the papers of an initiative by Gordon Brown, the former British Prime Minister, and Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who is one of the greatest Nigerians alive. He's one of the few people who was not only mouthing statements, he walked the talk. He assisted us with over 500 million naira towards poverty alleviation in the state.
Given Aliko's track record in helping Borno State in the past, you're hopeful that this is a program that will be very useful for the people of Borno and the other three states. Beyond individual donations, I mean, there are many who believe that for Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa to begin to turn around the corner while you're fighting the insurgency, you must simultaneously also stock the economy and begin to help businesses, get back on their feet. What are your thoughts on this regarding what can be done?
One area that I'm keenly interested on is in the area of agriculture. And Borno is the second largest state in the Nigerian Federation in terms of land mass. And land is the most important of resources. We are 14 times the size of Abia State. We are 20 times the size of Lagos State. And my focus, my vision, is to pursue an aggressive grassroots socio-economic empowerment program with agriculture as the centerpiece. Nigeria spends $20 billion every year importing foodstuff. We are the highest food importing nation in the world. We are spending 1 billion naira every day importing wheat. We import all sorts of jams. We import toothpicks from Canada, cabbage from the United States, packaged in Dubai and delivered to Nigeria. Tomatoes, 1.6 billion naira worth of tomatoes imported from China. China, they do not use tomatoes. They produce tomato for the Nigerian market, for the African market. So what I'm saying is that opportunities abound in the Nigerian market, and we are investing heavily in preparation for the reimagined peace. Heavily in center pivot irrigation. We have partnered with Jain Irrigation of India. We have bought 10,000 family drip irrigation kits. We have invested heavily in sprinkler irrigation. And most importantly, we are investing on the whole spectrum of the agricultural value chain: production, processing, marketing as well. So, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have done so much in the area of agriculture. We are just waiting for the peace to really settle down. But that did not stop us. Mind you, in Konduga, along Maiduguri-Bama Road, we are right now installing center pivot irrigation projects. And definitely in the not too distant future, we'll start unveiling our other programs. Because we have to adopt, to be quite honest with you, we have to adopt a very, very holistic approach if we want to end this insurgency once and for all. Because it's not all about a military option. We have to explore all options. And economy is the most important of all options that we could really explore. But honestly, I feel embarrassed talking about economics when people are dying like flies in my hinterland.
Let's take a break, sir.
Okay.
When we return, we speak to Governor Shettima about how the Boko Haram insurgency has affected life in Borno State. Don't go away.